It'll give you some different options. Repeats do happen in this. Calculators are not completely random because being completely random is impossible, but they're pretty close. So this basically will give you options. You could change it to 10 if you wanted to, but it definitely will give you repeats as well. But it's a nice tool when you're trying to select a sample. Anybody have questions on that? And it is what I do every single day when I'm selecting you guys. All right, now a census is about asking a whole population, but a census, like I said, is also a count of a population. Literally, they call the census, which happens every 10 years, and in the United States, they change, you know how like when you go into a town and you see like how many people live in that town on the sign? They change it every 10 years is when they redo the count. They do it by mail or they do it online, depending on how that works. A sampling error is when you ask the wrong people. An example of this would be like if I went outside a Democratic convention and I asked the people who were leaving, who will you vote for? I bet if I do that, I am going to get a lot of responses that they're going to vote for the Democratic candidate because they're there at the Democratic convention. That is not representative of the whole population. Biased questioning is when you ask the question in a way that influences people. Whether you mean to or not. Can anybody think of an example for me for a prize? Ask me a question in a biased way.
I don't know if this is right, but like, what if you said, why would you vote for the Democrat?
Yes. Why? Let's even make it worse. Why would you even vote for a Democrat? What does that show how Sierra feels about Democrats? She doesn't like them, clearly, and I'm not saying that you personally don't. I'm just saying that the way you ask that question implies that you don't. You could also, it could be as simple as giving people options and not others. Like, what if I said this to a person? Hey, what's your favorite kind of ice cream? And then as they pause, I would say, you know, like vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. I bet you a lot of people on my survey would say vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry, right? Because I gave them options. But if I had just said, what's your favorite ice cream? I bet I'd get a lot more different options than if I give them choices. You know what I mean? It can also just even be the word really, or what's another one that happens a lot? So you could say something like, do you really want to vote for that person? Which implies that you don't agree with it, and so on. So there's lots of different options there. So the homework is down here, and maybe the rest of the time to work on it. Tomorrow we're still going to do Post-it partners. I know that it's a day late, but I don't care. So I figured we'd do that first thing tomorrow, then we'll correct both of these assignments and then start our work on 2.1, but 2.1 is going to take us 2 days, so we'll go a little slow with that one. I'm going to give you guys Post-it notes so that you can write your stories ahead of time.